If you haven't heard, K-Pop Demon Hunters is the #1 movie in the US, and I watched it as a non-K-pop fan. First shot takes you right into the action, and we get introduced to Rumi, aka Twilight Sparkle, Mira, who's the nonchalant dreadhead of the group, and Zoe, who I believe is kind of like a wild card, because everybody needs a wild card. And I thought the voice actress for Mira was Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but apparently it's not. They just sound very similar.
Sound exactly like her.
I get it. That's hilarious.
For some reason, I didn't question why Rosa could speak Korean. They're part of a band called Huntrix, and they're demon hunters by day and K-pop singers by night. The name is obviously inspired by Trix, the rabbit, and we get introduced to Bobby, aka the GOAT manager of all time. And I'm not just saying this because I look just like him. He really is one of the S-tier characters in this film. He has deep, rich lore to him that is truly underrated. He should have his own movie, K-Pop Demon Manager. Anywho, for some reason, some demons show up. You know for a fact you're not American. Otherwise, they'd be using guns instead of swords. After they get their victory royale and perform for their fans one last time, they finally get to take a break. Rumi actually decides to drop the single right after their performance, instead of letting her closest friends rest. And as a Chinese person, let's go, Rumi, yeah! Ironically enough, Rumi actually loses her voice and is unable to sing the high note part of the song. She decides to run away into a bathroom, and that's when we discover that she's actually she's a demon. And we get a flashback of Rumi when she was a kid, and who I believe is her kind of mom, Celine. And that's when we in fact learn that Rumi is, indeed a demon, a menace, just like me for real. And these two actually have a pretty interesting relationship, but there is a slight problem with them that I have. After Rumi loses her voice, we get introduced to the Saja boys, the enemies, the rivals of Huntrix. They're a demon boy band who in fact are just some hungry dudes who want to eat some souls. They gotta eat. So far we got Mr. I Can't See, Vi from League of Legends, BTS, the Boss Baby, Peter Parker. Oh boy, I wonder if the demon boy band will survive the movie about demon hunters. And of course, Huntrix immediately falls for the Saja boys. Despite being, pretty average looking guys, in my opinion, after seeing what peak looks like, the Saja boys really don't stand a chance. And F tier they go. That's the end of the recap for now, so on to my thoughts. First, I want to say the ending is pretty funny. They basically yap the big bad guy to death, and I love it when words are able to be used for destruction. In Baldur's Gate 3, my character was a bard who just insulted people to death, and it was glorious. The animation and music in K-Pop Demon Hunters is truly the best part of the film. I mean, just look at it. Golden and Soda Pop are also such great songs. Not only are they catchy, but they really highlight a deep message about the characters that sing it. For example, with Golden, it's a song about hiding yourself, no longer hiding yourself, and truly revealing who you are to the world and accepting that, you are who you are and there's nothing to be ashamed of. Even if you are a half soul-sucking demon. On the other side, we have Soda Pop, which is about the Saja boys. Singing about how they want to bite and take your soul away. Going back to the scene about Rumi and Celine, I feel like they definitely could have worked on their relationship some more. In the end, their last scene together, I feel like the writers are trying to build up Rumi as someone who's going to truly embrace their demon and betray her closest friends and all her fans. But in the reality, they just ended really quickly. She just said a couple lines, said, yeah, I'm a demon, things happen, all right, time to kill y'all. I really feel like they could have built that up more and truly I guess almost make the audience believe that Rumi really is going to go to the dark side and she really is going to betray and embrace her demon self. The movie overall, it was very fast paced, which I understand, you gotta interest the audience nowadays, you gotta capture people's attentions, but they really could have built up some of the relationships and some of the characters some more, in my opinion. I would also say that the humor in the film felt very for kids and the brain rotted, if I were to say. There was a lot of silly faces that were made in the film, which were probably meant to be funny, but I didn't really laugh. I just kind of stared at it blankly. Not saying the humor is bad, of course, it's just not meant for me. Overall, I'll say K-Pop Demon Hunters is a pretty solid film. Even though I'm not a big fan of K-pop, the songs are still pretty good, and the story stands on itself, and the characters are very well designed, as well as acted. If I were to rate it out of 10, I'll probably put an 8 or a 9. If there are more scenes of Bobby, then easily 10 out of 10.